So last night, Doc Jones and M. Greasy chose violence. If you missed, if you missed the show last night, it was very explosive. But you know what it is. Just know it's King Dre, Juice Man, the Boogie on the highlights, jumping in this thing. We're gonna do the lightning round and HBCU discussion. We'll take a look at the funding and what's going on with Eddie George and Deion Sanders, and just a lot of general questions that we have about that. But you know, yeah, Tyrone Wheatley, you know who we are, and you know where we at, and you know what we do. I don't even have to give y'all the whole spiel. You know what a YouTube page is and all that, and where you can find us at. I saw another one today. We're on something called Podbean. I don't even know what that is. But yeah, we back. We back in this thing like we never left. So we're gonna do the lightning round. We got a couple of 3-4 college games. We just gonna go through and say what it is. Clemson versus North Carolina State. When North Carolina State made it into the top 10, I don't know, but just because they're in the top 10, I'm going with the Wolf Pack. What it do?
Ooh, God dog.
I ain't mad at you.
I'm just going with the Wolf Pack.
Get right to it. Ain't nothing wrong with that. I like that, Doc. You going with the Wolf Pack?
I'm going with the Wolf Pack. I don't know why. Just the lightning round. We don't even want to know why. The fans don't even want to know why. Just tell us who you pick.
Who you got, Juice?
Man, I got Clemson because they're at home.
I wouldn't ask y'all that muted. He got Clemson.
I got Clemson, man. I got
you got Clemson. I think I'm gonna be a renegade, and I'm gonna go with NC, man.
Yeah, come on with it.
Be a renegade today.
NC State.
Y'all gonna handle y'all business. I'm with Juice. Go and give me the Tigers, baby.
Okay.
All right, probably want them because their last name was Tigers.
That's what's up. That's what's up. Ain't nothing wrong with it. And we're gonna take a slide on back to the SEC. And we laughed Greasy out the studio when he said Ole Miss was gonna win. The SEC, what was the SEC? What's that? The SEC West they in?
Yeah. They're in the West, and I'm riding with them again.
Okay.
They about to go 5-0. They're gonna move up in the rank.
Okay,
I'm gonna hop on the Greasy train. I'm gonna go Ole Miss.
Okay. Okay. I want to go. I want to go Kentucky. They look real good.
They do.
I'm gonna stay with Kentucky. Kentucky.
Look at him. Hey, he going with his heart too, y'all. You know he like Kentucky in basketball. So I just little way to
What's up, Juice? I'm gonna go ahead and go. I'm gonna go with Ole Miss, man. I'm going with Ole Miss.
Okay, so we got through with the Ole Miss. Ain't nothing wrong with it. Now we're gonna show the West Coast some love. The West Coast, man. We saw what the Huskies did to Michigan State. They beat. Man, I don't even want to talk about that. Anyway,
beat the green off of them.
Man, I'm trying to tell you, they look like the '91 Huskies with Steve Edmond and Mario Bailey and Mark Brunell. Them the way they did them boys. But anyways, give me the purple haze. Give me them Don James uniforms. Give me Washington with the missiles over UCLA.
I'm behind you on that one, Doc.
All right.
Don't slide me them Huskies.
Okay.
Hey man, I'm gonna roll the dice with the Huskies myself, man.
I'm running with the Bruins, man.
Oh! Juice said he gonna be the renegade today.
Okay.
Hey, hold on, wait, Doc. Hold on. Juice, why you going with UCLA?
Yeah, we gotta know.
Man, I'm just going with UCLA because neither one of these teams play defense. It's gonna be a shootout, but I'm just gonna.
It doesn't matter where you going from.
I'm giving it. I'm giving it.
Only one of them is ranked.
Huh?
Only one of them is ranked.
Well, both of them are averaging over 40 points a game, so it's going to be a shootout. That's all I know.
All right.
Well, I know UCLA ain't getting 40 this weekend, so that don't even matter.
I'm trying to tell you, I'm going with them Huskies, man. I like that purple. I'm going with the Huskies. You see the background. Anyways, we're going to keep this thing on, Booger. We're going to keep this thing on sliding. A traditional Big Ten matchup. I know these two teams always go at it, and when they play every year, I don't care where it's at. I watch it. We got Iowa and Michigan. I remember back in 1997, they gave Charlie Woodson and the Michigan Wolverines their toughest contest of the year. Tim Dwight was running all up and down the field. Michigan still pulled it off, and they're going to pull it off again this Saturday. Give them the Wolverines.
Let's go, Big Blue. Let's go, Big Blue.
All the way,
That's
baby.
what I'm riding with.
I wasn't going to say no damn Iowa. The hell. Listen, even though I know the game, I know this game is going to be a tight game. It's kind of like Brian versus Gonzalez.
Yeah.
Throw them records out. When it's time to line up on that gridiron, it's going to be a fight. So,
what happened in the Big Ten chip, Dre? What I told you was going to happen.
Hey, man.
All right.
Go Blue. That's all I'm going to say.
Wolverines by 3 touchdowns.
Wolverines by 3 touchdowns. I think Wolverines get it done by 10. Juice Man, I know you're going with the Wolverines, correct?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. It's gonna be a close game by a field goal. By a field
Field
goal.
goal.
Iowa,
You gonna
man.
get some stress, boy. You might get muted.
Iowa makes
I
life
know.
hard, man. They make games ugly.
Hey,
They
man.
do.
Hey,
They
listen
make
to
games
this.
ugly.
Listen to this. Even though I feel the way I feel, man, we gonna kick their ass. This ass.
Oh,
This
We
the
gonna win
same
by
Iowa
21.
team that lost to Iowa State 9-7. Okay.
We gonna win by 21.
yeah, somebody got with them the first week. I can't even remember their name. It was some lumberjack.
Iowa
Some
State
jack
got with them week 2.
See,
Hey,
so
I tell you who
9-7
it wasn't though. It wasn't Middle Tennessee State.
oh,
he throwing slugs.
he throwing slugs. He throwing slugs. Speaking of slugs, it's gonna be a whole bunch of bell cows going on out there in Starkville, Mississippi, as the Texas A&M Aggies travel to Starkville to take on Mississippi State, and for some reason, A&M plays very good, and then they turn around and lose. And with that being said, they looking at Alabama. Don't be surprised if Texas A&M trick this game off.
Yeah. They will.
But just because I want to see a little hype behind the game next week, I'm gonna go with A&M in that one. But don't be surprised. I'm gonna pick A&M though. But they known for tricking out games like this. Give me the Aggies in that one.
Oh, we giving picks on this one too?
Yeah, let's go ahead. Why not?
All right, why not? Give me the Bulldogs. Give me the Bulldogs by 5.
Okay.
Give me the Bulldogs. I ain't never ride with A&M, but I mean, man, that's a slippery slope.
That boy said he ain't never, ever. Damn. Yeah, I think I'm gonna be a renegade with this one. As much as I want to lean on A&M, I can see them smoking this game off. So I'm gonna go and take the Bulldogs.
Okay,
fellas, y'all know how I feel about the Aggies, man.
Hold on, wait, who King picked?
Bulldogs.
Oh, okay. All right, Juice, my bad.
You know how y'all know how I feel, man. They don't score enough points, and they're going against a Mike Leach team that likes to spread the ball around, and I just don't like this game. A&M's got injuries, so I'm gonna go with the Bulldogs, and I think it's gonna get out of hand.
Dang,
I'm gonna
get out of hand.
I'm gonna say Bulldogs by 17.
Bulldogs by 17. I got one more. We're gonna throw it in, and then we're gonna slide on to the NFL and finish this lightning before we get on to the HBCU. And it's a little controversy behind this one. And I think the Tennessee Volunteers got a break. They moved the game time from nighttime in Death Valley at LSU. It's at 11 a.m.
Oh.
And the LSU Tigers are not happy about that.
Now that's that bull jive.
That's
that bull jive.
Happy about that.
I definitely not.
Dang.
Definitely.
That makes it even tougher to pick this game now.
It does, because Death
Valley, you know what? We ain't gonna even do that game. Let's go move to the NFL because I'm upset. Let's go.
Okay, you say you want to move on to the NFL, so we're gonna move on to the NFL. He feels cheated. Okay,
so don't be scared.
We got my AFC championship pick. I picked Baltimore and Buffalo in the AFC championship, but they're gonna go ahead and get it on. And what's this, week 4?
Yeah, week 4.
Hey, that's looking like a damn good game. And y'all know how I feel about Josh Allen, so
yeah. I love Josh Allen. I love Lamar Jackson. Give me Lamar Jackson and the Ravens. I think they get it done.
You know what, Doc? I'm right behind you, baby. Give me them Ravens. Give it all. Give me all that smoke down there in Baltimore. Give me the Ravens by 9.
Ravens by 9. What about the Juice, man?
I'm gonna go with the Ravens as well. Bills have injuries. And
yes, we didn't ask you all that. Take us
home. I'm just telling you, man.
you heard what the hell he said. I keep telling you. I'm down with you ass. We gonna tell you because that's what he feel like too.
Juice said you heard what I said. No, nobody cares. Juice said you heard what I said. What about it, King? Trey, take us on home with this one, baby boy.
Man, as much as I want to say my boy Josh Allen, I might have to ride with the rest of my fellas and say Lamar Jackson. Damn.
Can I throw a little history tidbit?
The Bills lose 2 in a row. Lamar Jackson.
Yeah.
some history on that.
Go ahead. Go ahead.
Don't the only time Buffalo won in Baltimore against the Ravens was way back in '99. That was their first meeting, and they ain't won in Baltimore since. So I ride with the Ravens, baby.
That's
We
what's
all
up.
ride with the Ravens.
Everybody going
Yep.
with everybody going with the purple. Got the Ravens taking that one on home. What's another one good one going on in that NFL, man? I like the Bears and Giants game. They said they ain't want to talk about that one.
No, we ain't wasting our time. I don't want to waste my breath on
Both
these
those
sorry
teams are
quarterbacks.
garbage.
Both
It
of them
might be
garbage.
garbage, but let's see who's gonna get that win.
Oh, just off GP, I'm gonna go with the Giants, man. I'm gonna go with the Giants. I think they got a little bit better defense.
Yeah, I'm gonna take NY, man. I'm gonna go with NY. I got a rep.
Not so fast there, King. Like you like to say. Give me the G-Man.
Okay.
I said NY, the Giants.
I'm gonna go with the Bears, man.
Hey, that's what's up.
I'm gonna go with the Bears.
That's what's up. That's what's up. That's what's
Already.
up. So
All
we got
right, roll solo then, Juice.
Say again.
I said you can roll solo then.
Already. All
He
right.
rolled
Hold on, what a
solo.
game at? Is
rolling
it at
solo.
Soldier Field or MetLife?
It's at MetLife.
Yeah, let me go and get the G-Man. Ain't got time for that.
All right, check this one out. This one will be at 8:30 while you rolling around out your boxes, still hung over from Saturday night. They playing in London, Vikings and the Saints. 8:30 a.m. kickoff.
I'm gonna go and kick this one off. Look at here, man. I'm not putting my money on Winston. I love the kid, but he's just too much of a risk taker. Give me the Vikings.
Dalvin Cook, baby. Let's go.
Dalvin Cook actually has a shoulder injury. He's going to harness that thing up, and they're going to get on up out there. But the Saints leave a lot to be desired. Give me the Vikes.
I'm gonna go with the Saints.
Oh, Juice gonna be the real renegade. Okay.
I watched the Saints
in
and
a close
Panthers
one.
last week. Yeah.
Saints in a close one.
Did you not watch the game, Juice?
Huh?
Did you not watch the Saints and Panthers? Yeah, okay. Did you watch the Saints and Falcons? Did you watch the Saints and anybody? I'm not fooling with that.
And
The
listen,
Saints
you
and the
know
Bucks?
how I
Oh,
feel
no.
about Jameis Winston, but
Hey,
We got one more, man, and I'm gonna go and do it. I'm gonna go and do it just because.
I know which one you finna pick too.
We got the Houston Texans and the LA, whatever, San Diego Chargers, and Houston has been playing very, very good. Herbert, ribs, Keenan Allen coming back from a hamstring. Jacksonville fresh off they, you know what? Man, I think the Texans get their first dub. Give me the H-Town boys.
Hey,
I'm putting
hold
it out
on
there.
now.
I'm riding with it.
somebody. No Bosa. Bosa out. They got a lot of injuries going on over there.
Yep,
I think I'm gonna take them H-Town boys too.
that's what's up.
We all ride with the Texans today, baby. Unless Juice gonna be the real renegade of the group. Normally, I'm the wild card renegade.
I guess Juice didn't see that Jacksonville game.
No, I saw it.
Let's go.
I saw it. Man, I'm still gonna go with the Chargers, man. They're still, even though with injuries, they still are a better team than the Texans. So I'm gonna go with the Chargers.
All right, so we jumping
Hold
out
on,
there.
wait. Hold on. What a game, man.
It was in H-Town,
It's
baby.
in East-Town. It's in H-Town.
Oh, it's in the H? Yeah.
Yeah.
Let me go and get them H-Town boys.
Them H-Town boys, man. That's them H-Town boys.
Y'all know if we lose, Juice gonna get that one and the Chicago one, and we gonna be looking up.
Be out of there.
Said boy, he said he gonna be up out of there. But that was a little lightning round, Black Lightning, HBCUs. Look at that transition. We're gonna talk a little HBCU, man. Dion's making it very clear. He's not taking $1 million to go play Nick Saban in Alabama. This is what we call.
It makes sense.
This is what we call a broad vanilla topic. There's so many different ways we can go with this thing. We've done a couple shows with the HBCUs, but it's just a good thing to see Dion, Eddie George, Tyrone Wheatley, some of these schools, trying to do something with some of the names and some of the athletes.
Guess who's the coach of Grambling?
What's that?
Hugh Jackson.
Hugh Jackson. Hugh
Head
Jackson.
coach of Grambling.
Ain't nothing wrong with that. It's like I was saying, it's good to see, the pro players coming back and some of the pro coaches just going back to the HBCUs, because at the end of the day, it's the question I asked King Dre when we were chopping it up was like, honestly, seriously, do the HBCUs and will they ever have enough money to compete with
Um,
Texas A&M all money? And that's going to be a tough fight.
they
That's going to be
won't.
a tough
They won't
sell.
have the money unless
Uh-huh.
you get people like, let's just, I'm just throwing out names. Like if you had like a Magic Johnson and LeBron James and Oprah Winfrey, you have people like them that are pouring back into them that have that kind of money. I saw something where I saw an interview and Charles Barkley was talking about how he has a mission, and his mission is to give $1 million to black HBCUs. And I think so far he's gotten $1 million to two of them so far. But even with Chuck just doing $1 million, that's still, as crazy as this may sound, $1 million still ain't enough money. That's not
But
enough
something
money.
is better than nothing.
You're right. You're
True.
so right. But the thing that I do like about it is that they're getting head coaches that are former NFL players. So that means you get the resources that these former NFL players, so you can still get a shot or get your chance at getting to the league coming from an HBCU. Where many years ago that wasn't common, and it wasn't something that you saw. I've watched many NFL drafts, and I can say right now I've only physically with my own two eyes seen here later one person from an HBCU that I recognized, and he was a quarterback from Prairie View. He was like a 6'6" quarterback. I don't remember his name, but he was there. He was representing Prairie View A&M HBCU right out of Houston, Texas. And I was like, dang, that's what's up, man. That's what's up. Like Prairie View needed that love. They needed that pub. And I was big on wanting to talk about it because growing up, we really didn't discuss, going to a HBCU. Yeah, I had people trying to, recruit me and wanted me to go to Prairie View, but it was just Prairie View. Like it was nothing else. Nobody talked to me about any other HBCU. And my dad talked to me about Grambling. But when you grow up and you watch North Carolina, you watch Florida State, you watch Texas and Michigan, it's like you don't watch these HBCUs, so you don't grow up going, man, I want to go play for Eddie George. I mean, not Eddie George, Eddie Robinson. Forgive me, y'all. The most winningest coach in college football history. Like I didn't as a young buck growing up, so I didn't know that history. But now that I do know, I want to encourage more of our black athletes to, visit more HBCUs and check them out. We have 107 HBCUs. We have like 10 of them in the state of Texas. You got Paul Quinn in Dallas. You got Wiley and Marshall. You have Houston Tilson in Austin. You got Prairie View in Houston. You got Texas College in Tyler. You got St. Phillips in San Antonio. You got Jarvis Christian in Hawkins, Texas. You have Texas Southern in Houston. And you actually have Thurgood Marshall School of Law, which is now on TSU's campus.
It's always been on TSU campus. Go Tigers.
Yes, sir. I know I'm gonna let you get that TSU love in just a minute. You got Southwestern Christian, which is in Terrell, Texas. And here is a interesting fact about one of these schools, St. Phillips. St. Phillips is designated as an HBCU and a Hispanic serving institution. They have a 51% Hispanic rate at St. Phillips. That's off in San Antonio, Texas. But again, like I said, growing up, you don't hear about these schools. Shout out to my man Doyle Gray. He played baseball over at Paul Quinn out of Bryan, Texas, man. But go ahead, Greasy. You're the lone TSU alum on here. Tell us about your experience, man, at the HBCU, man. Go ahead, take it away.
Shout out to all my fellow Tigers out there. My frat brother, the Chatterbox, who works the radio, KTSU, and do the TSU Tiger football games and many more sporting events. But since football season, we're gonna put that on the menu first. Me personally, both parents being Grambling alums, I knew about the HBCUs. It was something different for me. I went to schools that were very diverse growing up, elementary, junior high, high school, especially my boys. Doc, you, King Dre, Juice, TB, our high school. It wasn't, it was less of us. So I wanted to go somewhere where all the students look like me and they can relate with what I'm going through. And so that's what persuade my decision uh, to attend an HBCU. Furthermore, I was sitting back the other weekend watching Jackson State and Grambling, and number 28 for Grambling, running back Robinson, great kid. He transferred from a D1 school, and when I tell y'all, if I can go get the clip, put it on for y'all, this kid this kid looked like Chris Johnson slash Adrian Peterson slash Eric Dickerson because he got that high run. It's unbelievable. He shook through the whole Jackson State defense and was gone. Uh, of course, in the second half, the game got a little bit out of control, but in the first half, it was very competitive. But as far as them, I think uh, we're going to see a changing of the guard. I mentioned this kid because there were a lot of there are a lot of kids transferring from these D1. Let me go and say this: white schools uh, to the HBCUs. Uh, it only takes one person, and then it becomes a domino effect. And as Doc mentioned, with the Tyrone Wheatley, I think he's out there. If I'm not mistaken, Howard or somewhere or Hampton, somewhere out there on the East Coast. Of course, Hugh Jackson at Grambling State. We all know about Dion. I think we're going to get a more influx of coaches or an ex NFL coaches and players, should I say, uh, that's going to get these kids back to their roots because they said things normally come back around, like the afro, like bell bottoms, and all this other stuff. So I think that's where we're headed. And once we get there, because we got to remember, fellas, I don't know if you guys watched this documentary on, I'm not going to mention the four-letter station, but it was about the HBCUs and how in the 60s it was these large crowds and NFL scouts. It was big games. It was stuff to see other than the Bayou Classic, or the Labor Day Classic. It was big. All these games, playing games at Yankee Stadium, and I think that's where it's going to get back to. I'm going to let you guys have it.
Man, that boy, man, he went in on that one.
Yeah.
It's hard to follow that one up, man. That sounded that was real good insight for real by Greasy and King Dre. Real good insight. I was saying earlier, it's so many different directions you can go with this particular topic. I mean, when you think of Prairie View A&M, excuse me, being separate from Texas A&M, and this is a sports show, and just from the sports dynamic, the land grants that are given to these universities and the pandemic relief, like Texas A&M got almost $200 million, and I think Prairie View ended up $17 million. So it's just like the amount of funding that these schools, the HBCUs, are being shorted by the states. When it comes to being able to put a competitive team out there, and it funnels down into so many different areas. Like sports is sport, and it is what it is. We all get together, we talk a little noise, we kick back, we laugh, and we come together. But you can't really keep economics and socialism. You really can't keep it apart from sports because sports is basically life is basically sports in one way or other. And sports is basically life in one way or other. So the amount of land grants that affects our relatives that have land in Prairie View or near the Prairie View area, and we didn't receive the land grant. So this thing is bigger than just can we field a competitive team? You gotta think about that, man. $196 million went towards Texas A&M, and 23 million, 17 million. That's a lot of jack. That's a lot of loot, and this is state money. And if anybody knows anything about Texas, we got a lot of oil money. So they printing it out. So every time you go to that gas station, you support University of Texas and Texas A&M, whether you like it or not. And that's nationwide. So these are two rich, powerful schools, Texas and Texas A&M, and then we have Prairie View A&M. And if it's happening in Texas, it's happening in so many other black universities. Jackson State, Mississippi, they went without water in the capital for a minute. I don't know if it's still going on. I haven't heard much, and that's my fault. I haven't heard much about it. But it's bigger than just the sports. It's education, and it's just a big topic. And like I really don't know what to pinpoint, but it's a big topic, and we just want to put that out there. And maybe if you're listening and you check it out, what do you think? I mean, what are your thoughts on anything goes in this particular discussion? That's my 2 cents. And I can't drag and draw into it like M. Greasy and King Dre did, but that's just my thoughts on it right there.
Yeah, I wanted to add something. When I was preparing for college, my dad he tried to talk me into going to Prairie View because I've got three uncles that went to Prairie View. But at the time, I was like, there ain't nothing in Prairie View, man.
Right.
It's just
That's why I didn't go
it's
to
just
Prairie
a
View.
it's just a college that's in the middle of nowhere. Like I ain't trying to go there. And then I had a great grandmother that went to Tuskegee
Mm,
Institute, and
mm.
Alabama.
I had thought about going there, um, but I felt like it was too far from home, and then I didn't want my parents to worry about out of state tuition, so I decided to stay in Texas. But sometimes I wonder if how my life would have been different if I had gone to an all black school. But as far as when it comes to athletics, I mean, you just list the names of all the former NFL players that went to HBCUs. The Jerry Rices, the Walter Paytons, Michael Strahans. I mean, the only difference in HBCUs and Division One, I mean, y'all said it all boils down to money.
Hmm.
And if those HBCUs, you know, were given money, I mean, they would be able to compete with anyone too. And so,
That's exactly it.
yeah,
I mean,
so
because
that's all it boils down to.
when you brought up athletics, there was somebody, he just kept asking me to go to Prairie View. Like, why don't you go to Prairie View? Dude, I was at home. I'm at home watching a HBO special. It was a sports something. I just happened to sit there and watch it. And lo and behold, guess who they put on the screen? Prairie View A&M. Dude, do you want to know what their record was?
I think they were
Oh,
0-65.
0-80, bro.
Yeah,
Oh,
0-80.
yeah.
Yeah.
0-80.
It was bad.
There was nothing after I saw that. There was nothing he could even say to me about going to Prairie View.
Right.
Why do I want to go to play for Prairie View? They are 0-80. By the time I graduate, they'll probably be 0-85, 86, 87, 88, 90.
Hmm.
But see,
That
that's
was
when
not
you
attractive to me. That wasn't
Right.
attractive to me. And it just goes back to like what I said. When you grow up, I'm a huge Florida State fan. I lived in Florida. Huge Michigan fan. I loved them. Huge Texas fan, and I got to see these guys play at these particular schools. And I liked whatever I liked about them. And it was more than what I would ever see from a Prairie View.
Hmm.
Or I've never seen a Prairie View game. I never saw a TSU game, and they were right there in Houston.
Hmm.
Right there in Houston. I've never seen either one of them schools play ever in
I've
life.
been to one PV game that they played at the Cotton Bowl. It was I want to say they played Grambling. It was Grambling and PV.
Oh, yeah,
That's
yeah, yeah,
correct.
yeah.
Dude,
Yeah, that's correct.
I ain't never seen
Probably
that
that
many
many
black
black
people
people in your life.
in one stadium in my life, man.
Yes, man.
It was crazy.
And that's the one
Yeah.
thing that I hate. I never got to experience just being
Yeah.
around my people
Right.
like that. We all went to the same high school, a predominantly white high school. I mean,
Right.
and it's a different feeling when you're around your people, man. You feel a little more comfortable. You feel a
Yeah.
little more at ease. I
Yeah.
don't have to tiptoe around certain things because we all on the same page. I don't
Exactly.
have people looking at me
Exactly.
funny because I feel like this and they feel like that. We all
Right.
over here, we all feel the same. that was wrong, or this is right,
Yep.
or whatever the case may be, and
Yep.
that's one experience I didn't, get to have. And here's another reason, here's another thing that bugged me about it. So they were trying to get me to go down to Central Arkansas,
Mm.
and all I heard was Arkansas. All I thought was, so listen, I graduated from a predominantly white school. So all I'm thinking is Arkansas, South, predominantly white. I don't want to go there.
Huh.
That's not where I want
Well,
to go. So
Yep.
ultimately, Ray just said the hell with football because my
yep.
recruiting stuff wasn't going how I wanted it to go. And like I said, my dad did talk to me, was like, won't you go to Grambling or whatever? But again, you asking me to go to a school I've never seen play. I don't know
Mm.
much about the school. He's telling me, about Eddie Robinson, the coach, and that, but I've never seen these guys play. I don't even know what the hell Grambling is.
Yep. Central. Yep.
But then you saying Central Arkansas, it's like, man, I'm not going down there with all these white people, man. And we in the deep South.
Yep.
No, I don't want to be around that. I went through that through high school. And
Yep.
and my state of mind, no, they probably been and tried to shoot me and kill me down there in the South, deep South like that. Arkansas, no. So I'm not gonna go.
Right on. Right on.
So
But
yeah,
that's
I wish
but that's where
I had
the
had more knowledge though about HBCU. I wish I had way more knowledge and an expanded knowledge too, not just TSU and PV.
So
it's
how many?
called it's
How
called
many?
the road less traveled.
How
That's what it's
many?
called.
How many?
Yeah,
How many HBCUs? You pull that number up today? Was it right?
107.
107,
107.
Wow.
and just 10 in Texas though, like
10 in
10.
In
Texas.
North
No.
in North Carolina, A&T has the largest enrollment of
Yeah,
all of them.
North Carolina
Oh
A&T,
wow.
largest
For real?
largest HBCU
Oh, that's
enrollment.
cool.
And it's like,
Man.
wow, man, when you hear that, it's like, man, we really out here. And one other thing that I did catch that someone explained to me, you know, and I get it, I totally get it. When you see somebody who, when you're applying for a job, this is another reason why someone told me they didn't want to go to a certain school. I won't name the schools and I won't name the person, but it's like when I'm applying for this job, I don't want to put said HBCU degree on the line versus, let's just say a Texas A&M or Texas or Baylor.
Kent State. I get you.
That stuff does count against you.
I'm
Whether
gonna
you
have to
like it or
debunk
not.
that statement.
I won't say
Oh,
all the
oh,
time.
there you go.
I'm gonna
I
have to
won't.
debunk that statement, sir.
Hey, listen. By all means,
There you
listen.
go.
No matter what Grease is going to tell you, what I'm going to tell you is what I'm going to tell you is this. What I'm going to tell you is this. We can't say that it doesn't happen. That's
Okay.
all. That's what this person was getting at. You can't say
Well,
that it doesn't happen. It's like this. It's like an AKA applying for a job and the Delta applying for the job, and the person that's doing the hiring is the AKA. I'm not saying that the Delta won't get the job, but it showed the scale sure tips. The scale sure tips heavy for the AKA.
okay. I see where you're
That's
coming
that's
from.
that's the only thing that this person was trying to relate to me, so
I
I
see,
understood.
I see
So,
where you're coming from. What's your rebuttal, Greasy?
so my rebuttal is this. Currently, my career, there are no managers. There's just owners and there's me. And so we have two A&Ms, one UH. I'm the only brother.
Mm.
Make it make sense. Make it make sense. If what you're saying, that's the stigma that's embedded, or that's how we get bamboozled and hoodwinked. My paper don't say A&M. It don't say University of Houston.
How many
You
people
know?
are in the world?
How many what?
How many people are in the world?
Millions.
Billions,
But
right? So
since I'm in
basically what's being said is this. Nobody's saying that you can't get a high paying job or a high position or be an owner. No one's saying that you can't do that if you have graduated from an HBCU. But what you can say is some people, some corporations, some jobs are more apt to lean toward the Texas A&M graduate over the Prairie View graduate, or Texas A&M or Texas or whatever HBCU you want to put over here. They might lean more toward this school because of this statute, because of whatever, or because he went to HBCU. You can't. What I'm saying is, you can't say that does not happen. Just like I can't say that graduating from an HBCU, you can't still go get that top paying job. I can't say that either.
Well, this is what I'm saying. We are in Texas, and I'm pretty sure there are many Aggies, many Longhorns, many Cougars, many Mustangs, many Bears. Why you had to choose a Tiger? You feel me? So
you're speaking on your personal experience. So you, exactly. in this case, you're correct. You went to a HBCU, you got a top paying job. Good job. What I'm still saying is there's still somebody out there who went to a HBCU that got passed over by somebody who went to Clemson.
Well, then again,
just because they went to Clemson.
It also comes down to you pull your own up also.
True. So we don't do a good enough job of that.
No, I say that to say that if there's a Longhorn, they're not going to pull an Aggie. You see what I'm saying?
Essentially, you're saying exactly what I'm saying about HBCU.
So you don't necessarily
everything else.
Look at all your great leaders, politicians. They didn't go to these law. They're predominantly. Miss Harris, our vice president. Where did she go to school at?
She went to a HBCU.
Howard University. Exactly.
Listen, I am not in any way, form, or fashion saying that if you go to HBCU, you're going to get passed over for a job. But what I am saying is some have gotten passed over for jobs just because they went to a HBCU.
And I'm pretty sure that's very accurate. But
that's all. That's the only thing that I'm saying.
But,
so that's
there are no
that's what
reports.
Made a person not want to go to said HBCU.
But there are no reports with those numbers. But I do encourage all the seniors and juniors, that are listening.
Yes. I think what Dre was saying is there's always going to be some bias when it comes to, you're trying to apply for a job, and management looks at your resume and they see where you went to school. Like
it hurts us.
We as black people, we're always gonna have to do extra. Like we have
agreed.
You know what I'm saying? Like we're all always gonna be kind of down at the bottom. We gotta constantly be better than the next person, no matter who they are.
So it's like Juice graduating from A&M and I graduated from Prairie View, but Juice graduated with a bachelor. So now that Juice graduated with a bachelor's from A&M, well, damn it, in order to beat Juice, I got to go get my doctorate from PV.
That's true.
I think
so now at the end of the day, it's like, yo, he's got a doctorate though.
That's true.
Like, yeah, he's got a bachelor's, but man, Dre got a doctorate.
I think the only time that holds weight, this is just my opinion, that's if it's an Ivy League school. If it's an Ivy League school, I don't care if you went
they're going to beat out everybody.
I don't care if you went to A&M. If it's an Ivy League school, it's something special about you.
And then another thing, we don't
not that you actually are special, but that's a privilege at the end of the day.
At one point, Prairie View was like the top school for nursing.
Yep.
It still is.
I think they're down to number 3 right now.
In the country.
I know for the longest, Prairie View was like the number 1 school to go to for nursing.
Are you talking about the state or nationally?
That I won't lie to you. Don't get me
because that has to be nationally.
I know at one point Prairie View was like the school to go to for nursing.
It still is.
That was national.
Like I said, they dropped down. I think I looked it up a few years ago. They had dropped down like to number 3, maybe number 4. But that's still great though.
That's still
great. In the state of Texas, it's just only the top dogs are Texas Women's and Prairie View.
Prairie View A&M's women's nursing. That's a national ranking. Prairie View nursing has been it.
As
far as nursing.
That's like Thurgood Marshall Law School at Texas Southern.
Yep.
It's the same thing. If you want to get a degree in engineering, you go to A&M. If you want to do medicine, you go to UT, you go to Baylor.
Mm.
You know,
Yup.
uh, that I mean, I wouldn't go to UT for an engineering degree. That's kind of backwards, but some people
Yeah,
do it.
some
But
people
and
do.
A&M is the top dog in engineering.
Some people do. Some people do. That was a good round table. That was a good discussion all the way around. And there it was, King Dre and Grease. He had a less violent debate than Doctor and Greasy, but it was a very good conversation. And this is one of the shows um, where time just bam. You see what I mean?
Mhm.
And when we first started this thing, called up Greasy, called up Dre, called up TV, called up Juice Man, and the goal and the vision is for it to be bigger than sports. We got a lot to talk about. This is just a way to own our skills. Iron sharpens iron. And I say it all the time. You only as good as the people you surround yourself with. So, with that being said, the vision is growing and it's going to continue. And I love the lightning round to where we can get on to more important things because at the end of the day, we love sports and this is what brings us together. But, I mean, this is just a broad topic, and I wish we could probably go at least another hour and a half on this one because you can look you can look into the racism. I see exactly what King Dre is saying. I mean,
Mhm.
at the end of the day, racism is racism, so you're always gonna have that. And you can look at the land grant numbers that I put out. I mean, it's like small black school, powerful white school. And Juice Man brought up another point too. We always gonna have to go a little extra harder. You see what I mean? And Greasy brought up an excellent point. You know, strap it up, get
before we
going.
go, before we end, Doc, we had a teacher at our high school that went to HBCU. He went to Langston in Oklahoma. He would always tell me about it. That was Coach Clemens.
Coach Clement.
Mm.
R.I.P. Coach Clemens,
R.I.P.
baby.
Coach.
Lucius.
Lucius
Don't do
Clinton.
that. Don't do that.
It's Lucius Clemens. Lucius Clemens. Just thinking about, like I said, this is one of these shows that could probably really just go another hour and a half, but due to time constraints and just where we are, we can't do that. But we can come back to this, and this is one of those shows we'll probably see, and we don't. It shouldn't be a situation where we wait until February. Good idea, King Drake. Wait until February. That's cookie cutter. That's traditional. Every sports show in America gonna try to, throw something out in February to throw that bone out there. So we
Mhm.
decided to switch it up. But you know what it is? And maybe we'll run some more lightning and some more in-depth topics and switch this thing on up because we're trying to grow, we're trying to get better. And it's all due to the work that we put in and the ideas that we put in and then the text threads and all that good stuff that y'all don't get to see. But we're gonna slide on up out of here, and y'all know what time it is. Same bat channel, same bat time next week. This is the Just North Sports Show. Check it every Friday night. That's 8 p.m. Anchor FM, Spotify, Google, and Apple Podcasts. Wherever you get your podcast, Dr. Producer, DJ King Dre, Juice Man, the Boogie, Greasy the Dog.